Hi and welcome to Geomage G Platform. Let's get started right away by adding a new database, making a flow, loading up some seismic data, and then working with it. The first thing we're going to do is add a new database for our first project. Hit the green plus button and give your new database a name. You can define multiple storage paths if you want different pieces of your project stored in different locations, or you can have one storage location for everything. I'm going to go ahead and add two new storage paths for my data and delete the default path. Once you've defined your storage locations, the G Platform database will take care of organizing your data on its own. You can change these storage paths later by clicking on your database and selecting the Properties option. Next, open up your new database by double-clicking. You can use F2 to rename any project within your database. You can also add as many subprojects as you want using the green plus button or the Insert key. I'm going to add a project and a subproject now. Now that we have a database and a project to work in, we can start adding flows and seismic data. First, we'll add a flow to load in our seismic data. Press the green plus button in the Flow Manager to add a new flow and give it a name. Once we double-click the flow, it'll open up in Geomage. Geomage is where you'll be doing the bulk of your work. The Module Manager window is where you will add new flows, and the Module Properties window is where you will define the properties of those flows. There are multiple ways to add a new module to your flow. You can hit the plus button and find your module in the menu, or you can use the Insert key and search for the module you need. I'm going to do that now and search for the SegWi Examiner. The SegWi Examiner will let you preview incoming data before you load it into the system. Let's look at a SegWi now. Select the SegWi Examiner module and then go to your Module Properties window. Under Seismic File Name, type in or navigate to the location of your SegWi file. This is also where we can define the trace headers. Now just double-click SegWi Examiner to run it. Next, we'll add some vistas for SegWi Examiner so you can see the results of what we just ran. You can add all the available views by selecting all groups here. SegWi Examiner has several default vistas, including header tables, your input seismic traces, and location maps. You can try zooming in and out using the scroll window on your mouse or by holding to click and drag. All of these windows can be docked, undocked, or moved around as you like. Every module has its own set of default vistas, so it's a good idea to add all the views for any module you are using for the first time. So now that we're confident we have the correct dictionary, I'm going to add the Load SegWi module. You can add modules by hitting the green plus key to find it in the menu, or again, use the Insert key to search for the module you need. I'm going to input my SegWi file name, double-click to run Load SegWi, or hit the green arrow key. I'm going to go over to the left side of Geomage and add another view window so I can put my new vistas from my Load SegWi module there. You can also add views by clicking the Add Module Views button in the Module Manager. So the last step in this process is to save Seismic. This will save your new seismic data into the database as the internal .gsd format, so that you can access it from your other modules later. We can save this data in either of our two defined storage locations. Next, under the Input tab in the Module Manager, we're going to tell the Save Seismic module to accept the output of the Load SegWi. Then we'll double-click to run it, and then we can save our flow and return to G Platform to see the results of what we just did. Here we can see the raw input.gsd item that we just created with the load data flow we were working in. When you select any item in the project data list, you can see information about where the data item came from and the flows you used to create it. You can also see the history of any flows you have run in the project. Please check out some of our other tutorials for more information in working in Geomage and working with data.